silent sound wave, I give the ownership.
Shooting like we have today will bring about our defeat.
We cannot let the Autobots win.
I won't listen to your lies anymore, Trust.
For Cyberverse, they brought these wonderful signs with them to make my life easier, so I know who everyone is. Dick Terrion voices a proud Mechanum and the Quintesson Scientist. And Travis Arts, voice of Hot Rod. And Xavier Polcado, voice of Dead End. So welcome to TFCON, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here with us today. This is our Q&A panel for you. So the way we like to get this thing started is by asking how you got into acting in the first place, and from there, how you ended up acting in Transformers.
Oh gosh, you go first.
I'll go here. To most of you who I've already talked to this weekend, you know the answer to this question. When I was about 13, I started acting. I would do like high school shows, community theater, that kind of stuff. And a couple of years after that, I got a job at a local radio station. So I was doing voice acting, voice acting, voice acting, boom, and finally it all smashed together. And
I don't see the connection.
And so moved to the East Coast, got an agent, built a studio at home, and one day, now let's back up on my Transformers history. I've been a fan since G1, 1984. But instead of just watching that show, I listened to it. And I listened to Peter Cullen and Frank Welker and Greg Berger and Casey and Darren and Charlie and everybody who was part of that show. And it was that show that made me want to be a voice actor. So fast forward a couple of decades when my agent calls and says, yeah, they're doing a new Transformers series and they'd like you to come in and read. And I would have paid them to do it at that point. But that's my history from actor to voice actor to Transformer.
You just forward that payment to me. I'll take your payment retroactively.
I'll see what I can work out.
Hey. Sorry, we're just going down, right?
Of course!
Best for last. Best for last.
This is very Transformers thing to do, alive. Transformers.
Yeah. Similarly, I started doing theater. I was actually a dancer from a young age. Started doing, community theater, stuff in my local dance class, choir. And when I got to high school, I started doing plays and musicals. I eventually went to school for acting and graduated, got out.
Are you sure?
Well,
You hesitated.
Don't look up my record.
Stop picking on him.
I didn't say I did well. Graduated, went out into the world, hungry and searching like every actor, and came out, got connected with an on-camera commercial agent, and that agency had a voiceover department. I am still with that agent. Within my first year, I booked some commercials, and over the years, booked some commercials and promos. A couple of years in, they then started sending me out for animated projects and video games, and I got an audition for this, and was really excited because like Dick, I also was a Transformers fan as a kid. Beast Wars was my show, and yeah. But I've been a fan of been a part of so many different fandoms, and this was something I really, in my acting, really wanted to do something like this and accomplish something like this. So I was really excited, prepared it, came in, thought I bombed it. Fast forward like 2 or 3 weeks, and I was having lunch before one of my side jobs, and got a call from my agent, said that I booked Hot Rod, and here I am now.
I love that story. I wish I had that story.
You just went in, nailed it, thought you did great, and then you booked it.
I'm dead end. My story was tragic. I've been prepping for this character for the past 20 years. Oh, God. Acting, no. Back in 1923. No, I always wanted to do the acting thing. I was a teen actor, which is a child actor, just a big child. Some would argue even bigger now. New Yorker, born and raised. Wanted to learn what is that? How do they do that? That was my question. For all the TV shows and the movies and the audio dramas. I had to listen to commercials. They sounded great, those announcers in the 80s, you know, Pampers. Your baby's bottom is wet. It's time for Pampers. And they would just sounded so happy. I want to be one of those happy sounding people.
You wrote the copy for that one, right?
I did.
Yeah.
It was original. Oh, I hate this. Anyway, and I said, how do they do that was my question. And I'll tell you, this is part of the story you guys didn't know. Most of my acting teachers were horrible starting off. I was not a natural actor. I remember, never forget, I auditioned for The Cosby Show. Remember The Cosby Show? Yeah, I know. Please don't leave the room. I auditioned for Theo's friend. Now, don't I look like I could have been Theo's friend? Totally. You know, I thought I was a great Theo's friend. But the casting director looked at me and said, too much. I'm like, too much what? They're like, too much of everything. You name it, you're too much of it, leave. And I was horrible. But then I got better. See, what happens in the business is that if you really want a career, you have this fantasy about what the industry is, and then the industry snaps you out of that fantasy and gives you reality. You know, I had a lot of precocious energy, but it wasn't going into the right places at the right time. So it did take me years to find the right acting teachers that could kind of calm me down, help me understand what are the building blocks of truly being an actor, not this sitcom trash that I was believing and thinking. And then I learned from scratch, and yeah, I was horrible. And voiceover was always interesting to me, because that's like the best form of acting. The voice is the actor in voiceover, not just you, right? So started studying voiceover years ago. A guy by the name of Dan Duckworth in New York. Remember? I don't know if you know him. Yeah, he's semi-retired now, but he was a serious narrator. This guy who narrated for History Channel and just prolific. And then we went to the paces there. So my on-camera and acting and voiceover career kind of flip-flopped for a number of years, and then voiceover became stronger as I became a stronger actor. So that's, I think, the moral of all of our stories. As we strengthened our acting technique, we began, I'm sorry to keep you awake, yawning in the first row. Sorry to wake you. We got better, and then voiceover kind of took us on a journey. Certainly took me on a journey. It helped me realize, okay, here are the different possibilities that you have beyond on camera. On camera, there's a look that you have to fit, and it's a box. Voiceover is not a box, it's more of a doorway. So that's that. Oh, so and fast forward to Dead End. Dead End was one of many auditions that we get during the course of a day. It was just another page on a stack of auditions. Okay, here we go. Okay, I got it. I cranked it out and I did it. And a few weeks later, oh, so congratulations, you got the role of Dead End. And I'm like, and my first thought, I gotta be honest, was, what are they getting all excited about? I'm like, I really am a pessimist. Because I didn't get it. I wasn't thinking, oh, that Transformers. I just thought it was just I won't say that word, but I thought I was just like, come on, this isn't, but it really is. So thank you for being here. Thank you for making this real. For all of us.
And at this time, we're going to open the floor for questions from all of you. Please line up at the microphone.
My story was too long, I'm sorry.
Maybe not like a favorite line, but like a line that stuck with you quite a bit, or maybe you thought was funny the first time you read it, or just like a good line.
Yes, we do. Thank you.
Dick's gonna do all of them.
You got out of that one.
So you want us to do them? Of course you do.
Yes, please.
My personal favorite? I am Alchemist Prime. Always have been. Thank you.
Time to activate Team Hot Rod!
Why would you collect sound waves and not hot rods?
Hey, those flames are looking good.
Wait, I've got a number 2 as well. You just inspired me. Welcome to my laboratory. You're a blue one. I don't have a blue one yet. Okay, I'm done. Oh, no, wait, I got...
The pressure. Maybe he's working on his beauty secrets, genius. I hate parades.
I like that second line so much, sometimes I think I said it. You know? I'm like, that's such a good line. Did I say that? No.
It's for everyone to share.
Hi everyone, I have a question for the 3 of you. When are you coming back? When are you going to voice your characters again?
Oh, darn good question.
Do you know anyone at Hasbro?
Let me get on the list.
Listen, I think I can speak for everyone when I say we would love to.
Absolutely.
Love to.
I mean, if you look at most of the Transformers series, they all ran 3 or 4 seasons, and then they were done, and then a couple of years go by, and then a new series comes out. So I think we're about due.
Hey?
Yeah, it's about time. I would love to see a new iteration of Cyberverse or a continuation of the story under a different name. But of course, we would all love to keep doing this. I mean, Peter Cullen's done it for 40 years. Frank Welker's done it for 40 years. I'd like to do it for 40 years. So maybe a pressure campaign from all of you in this room, and everyone you know, and everyone on your social, can do that, all right? That's your assignment once you leave this place.
And we could participate in that. There are a lot of great fan efforts that, because I think it is a conversation between the public and us, more so now than it was yesteryear, where you could help us develop where it could go through how our characters could evolve, and then that pressure can make the powers that be pay attention, because you are who we're doing this for.
I was going to say too, and you know, if Cyberverse itself doesn't come back, it's understandable. Shows come, shows go, and we have the memories. But you know, there's a lot of other shows, and there's a multiverse everywhere. Every fandom, every property has a multiverse. I think we could have a cool little crossover with another show.
Absolutely.
You know, so that would be cool.
As I think we proved in the script reading yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for the question.
Hi, my name is Samara.
Hi, Samara.
And I have a question for you, Travis. How did it feel for just being like kind of like brothers with Bumblebee and Cheetor?
So cool. Like I said, I grew up watching Beast Wars, so like to actually have Cheetor be part of Team Hot Rod, and obviously Bumblebee is a legend, you know, an icon. So for that to be the trifecta is really cool. It's really cool, and for it to like incorporate my history with the franchise, with the fandom and the franchise too was really neat. Yeah.
And did Jeremy voice both of those characters?
Jeremy voiced
Bumblebee, but who was Cheetor?
Oh my gosh, I was literally just trying.
Does anybody
Thanks,
have
Dick.
the Google machine? Thank you, appreciate it.
Thanks for putting me on the spot, man.
Absolutely. But my point being that you guys actually did become like brothers.
Yeah.
Off mic.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeremy's great.
Oh, great. TJ Nelson. I knew it started with a T. Well, here's the thing, and I said to a few of you at my table, the conventions have been some of the first times we've all met. And maybe this is someone else's question, but we recorded all our stuff solo in the booth. There would be, line producer, director phoned in, writers phoned in, the engineer. But I think I passed Jeremy maybe once in the studio when we were in between sessions. But other than that, this has been.
Yeah, I didn't meet anybody else in the series until one day I think we all came in to do a bunch of pickups. We're
That's
all
right.
sitting around in the waiting
And
room.
I met Ryan that day.
Yeah, at Yellow Duck Studios, which is a great name
Big
for a
Yellow
studio,
Duck.
first of all, Big Yellow Duck. And, you know, we're all just being cool actors looking at our scripts, just trying to not make eye contact with anybody. And then we started talking and realized that we were all in the same show, and there was a woman sitting next to me, and I asked her what she was there for, and she said, "Oh, I'm Pinkie Pie." So she was there for something completely different. But yeah, we all recorded on our own, and it was up to the editors to make it sound like happened just then and there.
That is to say, TJ did an incredible job with G-Tor. I think our dynamic was so fun, so interesting. We all brought a little something to the table, which is really cool. Thank you
so much.
Yeah, thank you.
I got too nervous, I'm taking their spot, and I'm asking the same question. So, Dick, I know you voiced 2 other characters, so 3 in total, but Travis and Xavier, I was curious if you could voice any other characters, like favorites of yours, other voices similar, what would they be?
Within the franchise? Within the Transformers universe?
I mean, do you have another answer?
I do.
Well, what is it?
And Travis knows my answer. Dr. Doom.
Oh!
I'm still a little peeved about the whole RDJ thing. But I'm letting them know that I'm available.
Yes, I'd love to hear that.
Wow. Within the franchise, Soundwave. Oh, I got a nice ooh too. Ooh, and Blaster. What's the problem? Turn your dial on, right? Possibly Jazz.
Okay, that's the campaign I want to start. It's
Yeah.
all of those to go for Xavier.
You know, it's funny because that's how Hollywood seems to work. The things you think you're perfect for, Hollywood's like, not quite. But this thing over here, you're like, are you serious, really? Okay. But then it works out in the end. Clearly for us, luckily.
You would be amazing at any of those roles.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's get that campaign going. too.
Yeah.
Yes!
Your spare time.
Some sort of
Yeah. Oh, three roles.
Sorry, I was like, Beast Wars 3.
Oh, Beast Wars 3. Beast Wars 3. Okay. You know, someone recommended, I think because of their association in the other Transformers media, but someone recommended Springer. That'd be cool to do. Yeah. And if anyone didn't, yes, not all of us are as prolific in the series as Dick. But if you caught a fun little blue Autobot who said, "Game over, man," that was also me. And something about the Ghost of Starscream, that one too. That was me as well.
Actually, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hello. As voice actors, you voiced 3 characters. You both voiced 2 characters, or 1 each character. What do you have to say about the range of a voice actor? Whether they can do many different voices, or if they only really can do 1 or 2 voices well?
I would say both are valid. Is what I want to say, because I think there's some people who have an incredible range and can do voices all along their register, and that's an incredible talent. But there is also something that it's totally valid for someone who does what they are really well, and you know, there's going to be different colors of that, given the character, but that's a lot of voice actors' bread and butter. Bread and butter is your voice, but just magnified, or depending on the circumstances, you know.
It's fascinating, isn't it? But there are so many different kinds of voice actors. There's this girl she's a screamer. That's all she does. What's her name? The Scream Girl. She's been screaming since since a kid in horror movies, and that's all she does. She's Valley Girl. Maybe that explains it. But I mean, yeah, and that's her thing. Now I could before an hour. I can't scream that, but that's a little too much. But point was, there are two kinds. You know, you get the multi-charactered, and then the ones have a distinctive sound that changes depending on the project. So they are, just depends on, it's like a fingerprint, like what yours is.
And I don't think about it as, oh, I'm doing 3 characters. I'm thinking about I'm doing this character now. I'm doing this character now. And I'm doing this character now. And that's something I also have to think about because I do a one-man stage version of A Christmas Carol in which I play over 30 different characters by myself. So really all I have to do is listen to the voices in my head and do what they tell me. It's fine. It all comes out right if I just make sure everybody has their own pitch, their own place, their own location in London, or whatever the ghost is supposed to sound like. Yeah, you just have to be very conscious and very aware and make them full-blooded, full-bodied people in your head and then in your voice.
This Christmas I'll be doing a one-man show of the '86 animated movie. I haven't started working on it yet, but I think I can.
Do it.
Great. Thank you. You rocked it yesterday. You were great.
Yes.
You were
Yeah,
great.
you were pretty darn good.
Hi guys. So I was wondering, when you voice multiple characters in a show versus one, how does that affect your work schedule or like kind of the equivalent of your workload? Like, does it feel like if you're doing 3 characters, you're doing 3 times as much as the guy that's just doing 1? Or like, what is some insight into that?
I get called in for a session that starts here and ends here, and whatever happens in between, that's what I do. What's really fun though is when the end product comes out, and sometimes I have all 3 characters in one episode. That's kind of freaky when I hear that, but it's still cool. No, for me it's like I said, I'm doing this voice now, I'm doing this voice now, I'm doing this voice now. So, like I said, starts here, ends here, and I do it.
Thank you.
Question for Travis. Season 3 is my favorite of the show, and yeah, I really love the kind of really subtle voice change you made to Hot Rod for that quintessent arc. What was some influence behind that? I kind of got like Keanu Reeves in The Matrix sort of.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's kind of an ever-present influence on me, I would say. I love Keanu in The Matrix and other projects, but yeah, I think he's definitely in there. And you know who I was looking to with, and I not to copy necessarily, but the attitude was Kurt Russell's Snake Plissken in Escape from New York. Was something that just like when I was reading those scripts, I was like, there's something here I think I want to kind of emulate there. So that was a big one for me. Yeah, I was.
Hot Rod kind of grew up a little bit at that point, and you could hear that in his voice. I mean, first he's all like this,
yeah.
Then suddenly. Scrap just got real.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
I was so happy.
We all noticed.
Thank you. I was so happy I got to do that because, you know, if you're playing a character all the way through, you know, in a series, you don't always get a lot of opportunities to do something like that with the same character. So I was really happy that I got to do that. Thanks for asking.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, how do you approach a role that you first get as like kind of like a side character, a character doesn't show up too much, to suddenly having almost be main cast or recurring way more often than you were just signed on for?
I don't know, because I approach them the same way. You know, I take everything seriously, and I really do, you know, all the actor stuff, all the character research that you're supposed to do for whoever I play, trying to, you know, divine what I can of the backstory from the, 2 pages of script they sent me. In some cases, this applies to animation. In some cases, I had artwork, or I was doing an existing character. So I had a sense of the physicality of them, kind of knew how they moved. In the case of Mac Adam, I didn't have that. The artwork wasn't ready yet. I just knew he was a big, jovial bartender, and so I kind of stuck my belly out, and this voice came out, and that turned out to be Mac Adam. And I kind of think that they drew him around me a little bit. And if you pick up the Age of the Primes Alchemist Prime figure, when I put my glasses on, I think you'll notice.
Yes.
Same answer. I try to approach everything the same. Just look at the circumstances of what's going on in the script, what the character wants, how they think they're going to get it, and
Well, what I think you guys may be noticing, and certainly I'm a big advocate for, is a lot of voice actors, we use our bodies as instruments. They're like musical instruments. Our bodies become this medium that we find the character, so it's almost like the character where in our body is the character, the center of the character. It might be in our chest, head, or combination, lower body, and we're finding tension and energy, and it just, we don't think about it, it just kind of happens, and the character channels us through. I don't know, you were channeling celebrities, Keanu Reeves and stuff, wow.
I did Boris Karloff, so.
I like references from time to time. Just if not, again, I think Kurt Russell and I sound different, you know, and I knew I wasn't going to sound like him, even if I was trying to pull influence from him, and the goal wasn't to emulate him, but it was kind of a, you know, a spiritual kind of.
It is kind of. I tried to channel Sam Jackson, and he said, "Man, if you don't get off me." Sorry, Mr. Jackson. Never have it again. But that's kind of what it is. You sort of find this sort of physical thing, and that's what makes it fun. I think it opens up that way. It takes a while, I think, to find the whole, I don't mean to go all actor studio here, even though I love teaching acting and voice acting, shameless self-promotion for my acting class. Come on down and sign up because I need more students. I love this stuff. I really do love, I kind of think, eat, drink it all day and night long. So, and don't you guys find that we learned a lot about the craft by doing that reading yesterday as well? We're learning as well, you know.
Wow, yeah. To get to do it with, you know, in the room with some great people, you two included.
Just picking up energy. Because the reality of our career is that we spend umpteenth hours in the day in recording studios with people directing our each and every moment in a script and a line. They could take a line and we could spend 10, 20 minutes, 30 minutes on one line and just how it's said. So we stay plugged into the many different ways a line or a word can be said. Like we live inside of that dimension so that we can respond to what we're going to be asked to do. So that's a big part.
You touched on something that I find interesting, how as actors we rely on our physicality, like when we're on stage or when we're on screen, but in a booth like this, you don't have that luxury, but you still have to physicalize it. So, you know, if you would have watched any of us in the booth while we were recording Transformers, if we were throwing a punch, we were throwing a punch. If we were taking a punch, we were getting hit. So we had to use, you know, our own sense memory, our own visualization, in order to bring physicality to a non-physical performance.
I love this actor studio.
I was very, very curious, especially if your characters were in the games, or if they made a show out of it. But I'm curious, if they weren't, who would you guys would want to play or why? And my fan cast, like, I could see you doing a perfect Shockwave. Travis, I could see you either as Sideswipe or Bumblebee. And you, I feel like you would make an amazing trip to con.
Really?
Oh.
So are you making us an offer?
I mean, if I had the connections, I would, but...
Get us going. I mean, those might be the answers right there.
I think so, yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Thanks.
Thank you. That's awesome.
Hey guys. Dead End, Hot Rod, and Prowl are three characters with a huge sort of legacy factor within the Transformers franchise. They're characters that have been done multiple times before, obviously, by big names. So I wanted to ask for you three if there were any specific Transformers influences that went into the characters that you were playing. Like, for example, Travis and Nick, you said that you were big fans of the original series, so was there some inspiration that you took from previous actors?
Well, yes, but from an actor who did a different role. For my Prowl, I was certainly inspired by the Robert Stack version of Ultra Magnus in the movie. And so I kind of heard that voice in my head and I thought, yeah, that applies to this too. So that was my inspiration.
Yeah, so the way the timeline worked out, I auditioned before having seen the '86 movie. Because like I said, my first, really, I have an inkling that perhaps I did watch some G1 before Beast Wars, but when I was really conscious and could remember, it was Beast Wars. And so I had already auditioned and come up with my, my character a bit for the audition before I actually delved back into all the Hot Rod history and the '86 movie and G1. So yes, and I think it was more natural than actually like a conscious choice. But I think Ian James Corliss's Cheetor was a big influence on me just as a voice actor. I think back now to a lot of shows that I watched and different performances and actors that I'm kind of, again, just naturally by osmosis, by watching it, it kind of became a part of me. And I definitely think a lot of his roles, and specifically Cheetor, became a part of like what I did, for sure.
Yeah. By the way, thanks for the great question, Martin. Give it up for Martin. A winner from yesterday, an amazing performance in our auxiliary. Look out for it. He's got some chops. We're mentoring the new generation. and
we must make sure he never leaves the room alive.
And a hefty commission when you do book that big. 90% of it were taxes. I had nothing. Zero. Like nothing. I remembered the show. I remembered I had an idea. I just went with my instincts. I visualized the atmosphere of the movie Fight Club, Ed Norton's character, and just how, he was just doing this tourist thing with these 12-step rooms, and it was just like, what's the meaning of my life? Like, what the hell? What the heck? And it happened. It just popped out of me. God, I need therapy.
This is our therapy.
Yeah, indeed. We gotta pay everybody? Jeez. And then I heard that Steve Bloom, the great Steve Bloom, has done Dead End in previous iterations. Like, was it Beast Wars that he did, or a few other things, G1 to G1 series. And for a while, people were thinking, wait a minute, is that Steve Bloom? But it was me. So I kind of take that as a compliment. I sort of added my own edge to it while paying homage to kind of where it's been traveling. But I didn't hear Steve. I didn't hear anybody. So there you have it.
I will say, I just want to add one thing, that outside of Transformers, I was a fan of Judd Nelson. Like, obviously The Breakfast Club was huge for me. He's in Airheads, which is a really silly movie, and like, he plays this like, record exec, and he's been obviously tons of great stuff. But the archetypes he plays has absolutely influenced my work, and so like, I feel like by in a roundabout way, he's still got into my portrayal just through other means,
All right, thanks guys.
Thank you, Martin.
By the way, the seeker in the back, I love watching you maneuver in and out of here. With your wings. You're an expert. You're an ace. Love that.
Thank you.
This is a little bit of a frivolous question for Travis specifically, but I'm really interested in kind of like how fan culture evolves over time, statistics and stuff like that. So Hot Rod teams up with Soundwave in like season 3 or 4, but we can test more, and it's actually the second most popular pairing for Hot Rod, beaten out only by Megatron and Rodimus from the comics. And I think that's astonishing, considering it's relatively new, it's a less like cohesive, popular series, I guess. I like it though. But I just want to know, I was shocked because when I was watching, that never crossed my mind. I want to know, did you ever give thought to that kind of dynamic or any sort of dynamic between them?
I wish I could say I recognized it. I knew they had, a strong connection and they were, in a way they were teaming up. But it wasn't until engaging with the fans afterwards and then rewatching scenes, I was like, oh yeah, I see this. I get it. It's just so much fun. I mean, I just love seeing how people respond to the show and to their dynamic, and yeah, I love it. Yeah, it's so cool.
That was some great stuff.
It was.
You gave my character a lot of trouble. I really appreciate it.
And I want to shout out Mark Swint, who plays Soundwave. Incredible, just a phenomenal Soundwave. Hi.
I had a question. Is there any characters you want to do a buddy duo episode with, or anyone any tone or anything like that, where you wanted? I want to have this character. We want to do this episode together.
I pretty much got to do all the ones that I wanted. I got a couple of scenes with Optimus. I got scenes with you. I got scenes with you.
Yeah, we kind of got some nice
I got scenes with Soundwave, with Ryan, who did Shockwave and Grimlock. Jessica, who did Windows. Yeah, I got them. I'm playing
Kind of the same. That makes me. They really did put everything together. Everyone together. Since we, like you said, we have done all of them. I wouldn't mind seeing a full Hot Rod and Clobber episode. Which I guess we did get a lot. I mean, that's what I'm saying, because we got a lot of them together. But I could see just more of that, because I love their dynamic too.
Yeah. Same here for me. They just keep finding me in more and more pessimistic situations, and I'm just coming with more insane lines until it flips over, and then I become an optimist. An optimist. An optimist. Actually, I created a new character. It's Optimist version of Dead End. Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
I heard from a podcast not that long ago from Jeremy that there was interest in doing a Cyberverse musical episode.
I think that's mostly Jeremy's. But we totally go along with it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I was curious if you ever guys had a chance to do it, if you would.
100.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Yeah.
I have a background in musical theater, so yeah.
I mean, I'm thinking karaoke night at McAdams would probably be a good scene, and I would enjoy that.
Yeah, Dead End secretly thinks he's Nat King Cole.
I love it.
Unforgettable.
So yes.
Sure, in a heartbeat, we do it.
Thanks.
Yeah,
of course.
Thank you.
Hey guys, I got a question just for silly fun. Travis, fellow Jersey boy with myself. I kind of talked to you about this earlier, but now I'd like to pose a question to all three of you. I'm a cosplayer, and I'm curious, would there ever come a day where we see you guys show up to your booths in cosplay to represent your characters in that fashion?
If we could, yeah. I mean, McAdam is kind of a complex build, but I've seen a lot of great prowls around this weekend, so I'm getting inspired. The scientist would be just like some squishy head stuff, and some tentacles flapping. I'm going to think about that for the next show. I may do that. That would be fun. Yeah.
Totally. I mean, I have done it online and at other conventions that I wasn't a guest at. But yeah, I should pull it back out for a convention in the future.
There are a lot of great hot rods around too, though, so just here.
A lot of competition. I gotta step up my game.
I'd be open to it. We should plan something. I never thought about it. I mean, that's exciting. All sorts of new things going on. Yeah.
At the same time, would you think it was weird if we did?
Personally, myself, I would not.
Okay.
Cosplay is for everyone, right?
Yes.
Weird. Thank you so much for indulging us. So fun.
I'd like to ask, how much of the story were you told as you were voicing for Cyberverse? Because even though it was quite short, it was very a lot of things were happening.
The scripts were available to us before our sessions, usually not long before, but in order to do full service to the character, we had to have those scripts so that we knew, first of all, what we were doing and also the context of everything and what the other characters were doing around us. So yeah, we had access to the scripts.
I did as well, although I've talked to some of our castmates who said they had to do it cold.
Well, that's because they liked us better.
And that's canon.
Yeah. I think I'm trying to remember. There were times, I've got to be honest, where I just went right in there and we got a little context. With the way we were directed in the session, you get a little context. Here's what's happening, and here's the line, go. And do it several times in a row. And that's where and I've got to be honest, it was going so fast. Do you remember it going so fast? Your skills kick in at that point.
I mean, I remember recording half a season in 45 minutes sometimes.
Yeah, it was literally a time is money situation, and we're going to make sure we get through this real fast.
Oh yeah. So, but a lot of exciting things can happen in that way too. So, yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
What faction and alt mode would you have if you were a Transformer?
Actual.
You mean different from the characters that we play?
Pardon?
Different from the characters that we play?
Like as yourself as a person.
Maximal.
Well, now, let's see.
Maximal sloth.
Decepticon Kraken. Got dark real fast.
Autobot wrangling.
Very cool selection. Thank you.
Thank you.
Got it.
Okay, just make it real quick. Love the creepiness and also the other figures of these two characters. Relatable, adorable character, and emotionally a relatable character. You guys did an amazing job.
Thank you.
Okay, so as I asked the previous question, as you guys either watched the whole show, seen clips, whatever, what is your favorite and not favorite scenes?
That we were in, or
In what you're in.
or of all?
Of all the episodes you saw, whatever, like from the characters or other characters, what is your favorite scene that you watched, and what was your not favorite scenes?
Okay.
I've got favorite scene. Actually, I have my not favorite, and it's a personal thing.
Okay, go ahead.
There's a, I don't even know if I'm gonna point out, but there's a moment, when you get a script and your character gets interrupted mid-line, and there'll be a dash or a ... right? So what I do with those is I will, especially with the dashes, when I get interrupted, I will fill in what the rest of the sentence, what the character was going to say before he was interrupted. And there's a moment where I get interrupted, and I listen back to the line, and I realized what he was actually going to finish saying, rewatching it, but it is not what I thought was like going on, or what he was going to finish saying, and I'm just like, if I had one more chance, I would nail that line, and it's when he's battling Drift. And I listen back and I'm like, it just hits my ear the wrong way, because now I know what he was probably going to say as opposed to what I came up with then. That's it. Everything else about the scene is great. Everything, it's just a me thing. And then let me think of my favorite. Go ahead.
Respectfully.
You go ahead if you want.
I love the scene where I think I pulled a bomb out of my ass.
That was in the director's cut.
And the scene that I didn't like, well, the one where I fall all those stories down, we're trying to get up to that bridge, that thing, and we're having like a battle, and there's a lot of exciting gunfire. That I thought was cool, and it's my favorite line, let me in, get me, because I had a few attempts to get up in there. So I think I have an unfavorite. I guess I just wanted to pull more bombs out of my ass.
Secret pocket department.
I had so many favorites, like my first scene is Prowl with Optimus Prime, where he's carrying me over his shoulder through a hail of gunfire, and he slings me down and calls for Ratchet to repair me, and I say, Prime, why didn't you leave me? Because we never leave a bot behind. So like, oh, I'm gonna cry now. And as MacAdam, I had, you know, that the first scene I had with Prime was when he's negotiating with Megatron, and Megatron walks out, and I just sit down with him and I say, you know how many times, how many blends of Energon it took me to get to this? But would you say that I have the best blends of Energon on Cybertron? Well, yes, of course I do. It took me 3,000 whatever, but that 3,000 whatever blend, that's the one that made all the difference. And that was my dad moment with Optimus Prime. Okay. But one of my favorite non-lines was the very first appearance of the scientist. It was at the very end of the episode, and I believe it was Mac who said, "Oh, that's right. You haven't met the scientist yet." And I may have been talking to Hot Rod or B or both of you, and you're looking at each other like, what? What are you talking about? And then they cut to the back of the scientist, and he just turns around and faces the camera. So that was cool. Another favorite line was, "Bad Skull Cruncher, down!" I don't think I really have any lines or scenes that I can remember from that I just wasn't delighted with, and maybe it's just because the kid in me who watched in 1984 gets to do this. So,
that's understandable. Also, a very good question. It's a really good question what Rod asked in the show. Why Soundwave?
That's what everybody asks me. Why? That's what you asked me. Why would you call it Soundwave? Why not? Exactly.
And I just
you just want to hear some music DJ in the background.
Of course. You know, gotta have a soundtrack.
I was just gonna say with the favorites real quick. I mean, so many. The lines I mentioned before, so much fun. Anything with Soundwave. My little fight scene with Clobber, where Clobber's trying to like distract me, but like it's so funny. And also, I had a couple of fun little monologues that were cool. Like my battle speech before fighting Tarn, and then explaining to you about the loop, which was all of that into it. And the monologue ends, and you say, "Good luck with that."
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I was alive in 1984 as well, watched them. I don't know anything about you guys, I'm so sure you're super cool. I'm just the mom that brought my daughter here for her trip. But I wanted to say, Xavier, you said that you might need therapy, and I'm a licensed therapist.
I need a hug!
Okay.
Oh, God.
Okay, but the caveat is he has to come to the sessions as dead end.
Oh, my God.
I'm gonna hate this.
Yes, so thank you all for coming. Actually, I wanted to say one more thing. I just wanted to acknowledge, you know, the Transformers community had a loss recently with Ron Friedman, and I just want to take a moment to just pay my respects to him because of his work, he's influenced my life and my career, and and through his work. So I just want to take a second to acknowledge him for that. And thank you all for coming. This was so cool. Any closing words before?
Just heartfelt thank you.
Yeah.
Transform and roll out!
And then lastly, really quick, you might see our signs here. So actually, we were told we can keep them, but we're going to be offering them. They are on sale. I know the floor is closed now, but we're going to hang out for a little bit in the lobby. So just first come, first serve. Come and inquire.
I fit too.
Thank you all.
And roll out!